Heyo and welcome in. I'm drawing this Doberman today, so hopefully you like dogs, you like drawing dogs. Welcome in as we embark on into this, as you know. Um, you know, I found this image on pixabay.com. My plan was to draw this Doberman because I am doing a painting that involves a Doberman. So I wanted to draw this to really understand. And using this kind of tool, this 90-minute art challenge, is really a useful tool that you can use to help you in some of the paintings you might have planned, or just to get familiar with painting something. Doing it within these 90 minutes of painting a drawing or whatever does help. It gets out of the way. It's kind of like a practice session. It's like doing a 90-minute run or something like that, or 90-minute exercises or something. It's a fun way to kind of learn and get the blood flowing, and get the um, artistic things going. And as well as design, if you are more of kind of a design drawer, a concept artist kind of a thing, you could do this as a design challenge where you have to kind of design this Doberman in some way or form. But it's a fun little exercise I had here. And it does, doing paintings or drawings, like prerequisites, drawings or paintings before doing kind of, um, a actual, maybe actual job or actual product, or finished illustration, maybe an illustration for your portfolio, that kind of things. Doing these 90-minute prerequisites for it, like for instance, one of my um, kind of, I guess, biggest pieces or most successful pieces in the past has been Red Panda. That was kind of one of the stages in my art career. That was one of the best works I had done at that stage. Um, Obviously, I think I've leveled up that again. But back then that was what I considered a high level achievement, I guess. And to get there, I had to do millions of these, well, not millions, but quite a few prerequisites where I drew the red panda quite a few times, and I drew it um, in the pose a few times. Then I started to slowly draw it over and over again until I got the final result that I got, for that image. Um, you'll find it on my website somewhere. But even with all my other pieces, there's usually some sort of prerequisite before I do the final piece. Whether, I do it within these 90-minute art challenges, it's really helpful to do it this way. Now, as you can see, I did use quite a few different methods there. If you were watching me paint this from start to finish, there were some methods that I tried. I tried the blocking method, where I vaguely used the blocking the kind of shape of the dog to help me out. Now for this one, I was just trying to kind of slow down a little bit as well with this kind of painting. Um, so rather than kind of going all in and trying to make it look like that image as best I can, because that's sometimes I do that in these 9-minute art challenge. I go all in and just trying to make that image look as close to that image as I can. Um, you know, no matter how bad that looks, basically, kind of thing. I'm trying to make a field of grass, make all the dandelions look like they're there, make the dog look like it's there. Everything is there, but nothing is kind of focused on. Nothing is looking good per se. Nothing's looking that great. Um, and nothing's 100% there. Nothing's standing out. It's got all these issues in the painting because I've spent so much time on just trying to make this image look like this image. So With this one, I really focused down and went for trying to just get that Doberman looking right, you know. Um, and this is a reason why, again, I do sometimes pick singular images to focus on, because that gets me that time when I'm just focused on that one image, trying to get that right, trying to get the lighting right on that, the one object, trying to focus in on that rather than focusing on so many elements at once, especially with only like 90 minutes to focus on them. You have to really, within that 90 minutes, you have to like chop and change what you're focusing on. With this, I just focused on the Doberman and just trying to get, um, you know, e- each element, um, like 100%, trying to get the head 100%, then moving down on like the neck, trying to get that. Obviously, the nose is not that great, but just trying to slowly focus in on each element of the Doberman as well. So even going from, one element to small elements on that object, trying to break those down and trying to fix those up, each element. Um, Trying to get each little thing right rather than, um, you know, it's always good to get the whole thing right, and that's good. Um, but just focusing on and trying to get each little part right as well. That does help too. If the nose isn't looking right, then I can be like, oh yeah, the nose isn't right, and focus in on that. I can see here the nose isn't right, and it's like, I really want to go back and be like, oh no, that nose is actually quite smaller than what it is in my image. I don't know if I fix it up. Um, and that's just the 90 minutes. I can't fix everything. I can go back and change it if I like. I think I fixed it up a little bit here. Um, the best I can. Again, I think maybe a little bit of a smaller nose, just looking at it now. Um, but hey, I've only got 90 minutes, so could focus in on every little detail. But these little things that I mentioning now that might be a little bit wrong, I don't always pick up on them within that 90 minutes. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer to pick those things up. Um, so yeah, focusing in a little bit more does help a lot, um, as well. Again, here I'm drawing it again, trying to get those things a little bit more, you know, bringing these things out a little bit more, because it's vaguely painted here, got a bit of color in there. It's all vaguely there, but it's not like concrete set yet. So here I'm kind of determining my lines a bit better. Um, and there's a thing I want to kind of get better at, is determining my lines, put my lines in by my character, um, you know, rather than vaguely put it in and just keep painting, get better, um, try and be more kind of precise about it. That makes sense. Hopefully, this helps you, um, in your day to day to keep creating. Feel free to, grab this image of Pixabay, look up Doberman, to do this challenge. Feel free to do 90-minute art challenges. I do recommend them because, well, for me at least, it gets me painting something different. It gets me to do prerequisites where I draw a certain object or certain thing that I know I'll be painting in the future, um, to focus in on that and just try to get better at drawing that thing. Like, for instance, flowers. I don't really paint flowers, so maybe in the future I might use flowers in some of my paintings or drawings, so therefore I do a 90-minute art challenge for flowers, to get better at drawing flowers. you know. That's a thing I could do because there is a painting or two that I've got flowers in. Same with drawing grass, you know, you could do a field of grass just to practice on doing grass. It's a great exercise and it will help you out, so feel free to do it yourself. It's a great little exercise, and this is what I achieved within 90 minutes. It's not the greatest, but you know, I think um I focused in on a few problems and issues I've been having in some of my paintings and drawings, and just try to focus in and fix those things so that, you know, I understand them a little bit better and I can take them into my next paintings and drawings. It's, you know, these 90 minutes, nothing to be fancy about. They don't have to be fancy. They're an art challenge. They're just something like this, an art challenge here. They're just something to help you out and to explore your skills and bring them to light and everything like that. So, thanks for joining me. Keep creating and see you in the next video.